All right, so I made this, I had 90% of this poem written for almost 2 years now. But my thoughts were to wait to put it out because this country's been in a continuous state of outrage. And I just wanted people to be able to hear what I had to say objectively. It's just that every time I think, okay, things are finally gonna die down and we're gonna heal, and at least halfway racist people will be able to hear me out. The same things that had us furious and frustrated in the first place just happens again. So I guess I should just let it go. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna read it off. So don't mind me if I'm not looking at the camera. Plus I have a cold. No more excuses, all right. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Well, see, this may be just a line you've heard in a song before. But still to this day, my people are enslaved by ideology embedded over 20 score years ago, present in the grain at the root of this country's history, vivid in the bloodstain of a civil war. Throughout marches and movements to claim rights we've always deserved as humans. Through times of segregation, holding the proper education hostage, telling our children that knowledge is power and their skin color will be the bondage that shackles their future. And when the rat traps called projects fed us cheese called narcotics to become the targets for the new plantations called prison, well, this is modernized slavery, going by a new alias known as the system. And even now, as descendants of entitlement, lobby congressmen to extend the boundaries of their fraternity that we know as the upper class, we are still enslaved. It's just that now it's by the politicians we elect for promises they've made and policies they phrase in ways to persuade us to allow welts on our backs from lashes we can't take. Welcome to the new age of classism, aka the new whip. But when this beating doesn't break our skin or spirit, we're then branded a felon. They place our future on a slave ship and sell it off to the lowest bidder. Step out of line, boy, and that's what you get. Echoed by the voices of the new house nigger, the middle class. Just threaten our paychecks and we submit to hypocrisy. Faster than master can utter the words you're fired, while the rest of us fight like crabs in a barrel for the words you're hired. Searching for salvation from the corporations that pay dividends to keeping our situations the same. Put your money where your white is and the power remains there. Oh, we can campaign on change, but there's no change here. Meanwhile, the rich are protected as they commit atrocities against society and blame it on expendable leadership. Yes, the rich are protected, the poor neglected, and the rest just don't matter. At least thanks to video, everyone else knows now that black lives don't. And while the world seems so surprised, this is nothing new to brown people. No, we're so desensitized that we don't even flinch as the rope ties are hung at the treetops. For how long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Yeah, exactly. In fact, we actually watch like passers-by as our protectors claim the lives of these people. You know, my kind, just hanging in the street. Noose around our necks, they kick the law from beneath our feet. To see the nigga dance with no grounds to stand on. Their families too are left there to dangle until their heir is gone, or the household is strangled by the loss of one or more support system. Because once the pillars are gone, the structure most often crumbles. Time passes and the rubble that remains just tumbles along like weeds. And still they wonder why the flowers of the hood just happen to grow up so fast. Scrutinizing their behavior from looking glass, resting on one-sided news feeds to explain why they can't see the injustice. Because this way, it's easy to formulate an excuse to look away as dirty cops plant seeds and wait for a conviction to bloom. They can now shit right in our face and get a coon to call it fertilizer, as they profile us with impunity raining terror on our communities, and sarcastically denounce their privilege to get away with it all, calling the notion that we might feel less than or small in comparison with their positions in this hierarchy establishment of America a personal issue, and furthermore to insinuate that we just can't escape our own ignorance, and that the oppressions of our ancestors has nothing to do with the place that we are in and the oppressions we face today. Black people, we must emancipate ourselves, because all men being created equal has never been reflective of the freedoms we were conditionally given at a rate of social responsibility which triples that of our fellow humans with white skin. America, America, we are tired of the pain. We are tired of crying, asking you to try and understand how it feels to be slain and or oppressed by the government we pledge allegiance to. I'm talking about the same people in whom we are all related. Whether it be by first or last name, we all share American. It's time to bring hate to an end. We've got to change the system, because we will forever be at odds until the playing field's even. We must stop with the stereotyping, bigotry, bias, racism, fascism, prejudice, discrimination, etc. It's time to be free from it all. It's time we are finally free. Please, we all need emancipation. Alright, okay, so that's my poem. You can follow me at Retinal Poet on every social media outlet. Please share, retweet, repost this poem. Let's start, these civil dialogues and actively work to reform the inequalities and systemic racism that divides these United States and challenges the liberty that we continue to die for. Thank you.